Well, it's time now for perspective. For the next 2 days, Paris is host to VivaTech 2019, a technology conference that brings startups and investors together to, in its own words, celebrate innovation. What better moment then to discuss the ever-growing influence of technology on our lives, as well as a wider global context, in which it seems not a day goes by without a headline about one global power or another trying to cement their role as a technological superpower. Well, to discuss the VivaTech conference and the future of tech more widely, I'm joined on set now by Laurence Lafont, who is the COO of Microsoft France. Thank you very much indeed for coming in to speak to us here on France 24.
Good morning.
Now, this conference is, of course, all about innovation. What, in your opinion, are the most exciting pieces of innovation that have the power to change the way we live?
Well, I think mixed reality and artificial intelligence are certainly two pieces of innovation which are really already changing our lives, changing the way we work every day, and will certainly continue to change our environment in the future. So those ones I would really look at very closely and bet on as we transform, our world and our environment.
And what exactly is mixed reality for those of us who don't know?
So mixed reality, it's augmented reality, so the opportunity and the capability to have, virtual elements inside your concrete world. It will help you, for instance, have a better understanding of the body when you study, for instance, in health. It will help you have the opportunity to interact with an engine, for instance, have a look at how it works. So have a virtual engine at the same time as you're working on a very concrete one. So it will help basically technicians, for instance, in the way they operate. So there's a lot of opportunities to use those technologies in the day-to-day life and work.
And for many people, AI, artificial intelligence, means robots one day taking over the world. In the real world, what will AI be able to achieve in the near future?
Well, so even today, AI achieves a lot. So you take conversational agents, for instance, to help, interact, which we can use in many different instances. In education, for instance, we are using AI to help diagnose dyslexia, for instance. It's working really well. So you're going to look at how a child is, reading a document, and with AI, you can identify if there's any dyslexia potential issue. In health, there's a lot of already existing applications to help in the diagnosis of cancer, for instance, thanks to AI. In environment, you can use AI in agriculture to help, people better collect, I would say, and seed and so on. So there's a lot of already existing, very concrete cases where AI is in action. And in the future, we will for sure continue to see opportunities to use this technology to positively impact our world and our environment.
Now, very recently, we've been seeing the US president essentially ban equipment from Chinese telecommunications giant Huawei from US networks. The VivaTech conference is very much about technological collaboration, but tech does very much seem to be on the latest frontier of conflict between nations. Is this just inevitable, do you think?
No, I think there's definitely, as a European citizen and looking at how we can really help and support Europe, I think there's a way, definitely, for European companies to embrace these technologies that we build, that they can build also, and deliver, their own innovations. Again, take, agriculture, healthcare. We have a lot of very strong companies in Europe, both startups, scale-ups, and corporate companies who can really use those technologies to continue to transform in energy, environment. I mean, large companies are doing a lot to also leverage those technologies. So I really believe we shouldn't, end up and look at the world in China and the US. There's really room for European companies to also step up. And this is what we aspire at doing at Microsoft, to really help the European companies, whatever their size, work together to think about future innovations. And when you go at VivaTech, you can see a lot of them already embracing those innovations.
And in your opinion, is there enough national investment in technology in Europe compared to, say, China or the US?
Well, when you look at the VCs and the investment, for sure, we are lagging behind still in Europe. So there's more efforts to be done. The unicorns, are not yet enough coming from Europe versus the other continents. So we need to continue the efforts. I mean, we need the governments to create the environment for startups to be incentivized to grow, for VCs to be incentivized to invest. I think we have made a lot of progress in that space, especially in France with French Tech. I mean, there's been a lot of additional investments coming to startups in innovation. Station F is a great example. I mean, let's look at Station F as one of the unique, large environments in the world. I mean, we can really compete, with the Silicon Valley.
And for those who don't know, just explain a little bit about what Station F
is an environment where you will gather. I think the objective is to have 1,000 startups gathered there who are really, fostering those innovations. So we have, for instance, at Microsoft, an AI factory at Station F where we are helping and supporting startups in the AI space to grow and connect with other companies.
Now, changing tack slightly, there are, of course, endless reports about the negative impact technology is having on our lives. Apparently, our attention spans are shorter. We don't interact verbally with our friends, our families anymore. Do you think that technology is predominantly a force for good in the world?
I think it's basically what you want it to do and to be. So with technology comes, as we said, a lot of opportunities, but also a lot of responsibilities on the technology companies such as Microsoft. So we are really investing significantly in looking at how we are building positive, for good technology with a very strong commitment on ethical and responsible usage of this technology. So we have to think about it. We have to work on it. That's what we do at Microsoft to ensure that, as you say, we are not developing technology that will negatively impact the world, but on the contrary, technology that will help empower the humans, empower the citizens in their daily lives.
And now, finally, there is, of course, a lot of talk at the moment about tech's role in preserving the integrity of democracy, initiatives to make sure that internet platforms aren't used to foster hate speech, extremism. How do you think tech companies can work to make sure that they achieve those goals without being accused of censorship?
Well, I think it's transparency, I would say, is one of the most important things that we are committing to, and we have to get all the companies to commit to. So ensuring that we are very clear on what we do, which information, we are gathering, for what purpose, and how we are effectively engaging on this work around removing all hate-oriented, comments on digital networks and so on. So digital rights are human rights. This is what Satya Nadella said, and I firmly believe, we have to work on that in a very transparent way to ensure that everybody understands what we do.
Laurence Lafont, COO of Microsoft here in France, thank you very much indeed for coming on to speak to us here on France 24.
Thank you.